Good afternoon, each and every one of you. Such a pleasure to be here, standing here, and to be addressing and sharing this moment with all of you. Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Agriculture Minister, distinguished officials of the government of Meghalaya, and women farmers, members of IFOAM Organics Asia from many parts. Thank you so much for being here and for being part of this occasion. Today I want to begin by just stating one fact, a huge thank you to the government of Meghalaya. It's an amazing effort that they have made, and that we are all here as a part of this. And to be hosting not only this conference, but also for the relationship that you have chosen to build with the organic movement. I think that's a huge decision that you have made consciously, and I think that this is one of the steps that's taking this forward. This conference is not just the beginning of a partnership, as many people have already said. It's the continuation of one that started a few months ago. And I just want to take you back a few months on behalf of IFOAM Organics Asia, that last year, for the first time in November 2025, IFOAM Organics Asia and EPIDA launched the first Northeast India Organic Week, and Meghalaya was the first to step forward as a host. Amazing, thank you so much for that too. Alongside, the fourth Organic World Youth Summit took place, and that was also hosted here, and it brought together young leaders and farmers from across Asia. 2 weeks ago, products from Meghalaya were there in Shanghai at the industrial exhibition there. And it was an amazing sight, as so many people appreciated the products that were here from this state. The turmeric, the ginger, and the spices from these hills, they gathered serious attention, and I just hope that we are able to take this forward in new exhibitions. What we are building together is real, and it is growing. For IFOAM Organics Asia, the summit marked a turning point in our relationship with the state of Meghalaya. We witnessed firsthand the passion of Meghalaya's young people, the richness of its agricultural traditions, and the determination of the state government to build a sustainable future through organic agriculture. This conference is just the next chapter. We will deepen this conversation and this cooperation in research, in market access, in policy, in international visibility, and to take Meghalaya's organic farmers into the limelight. That work is already underway, and IFOAM Organics Asia is committed to doing that. But what I want to share with you today is just a short story. It's something that sits underneath all of this, something that doesn't make its way into many of our conversations. We've heard a lot since morning, but I want to tell you about a woman named Janaki Amma from my place. I come from the mountains of South India in Tamil Nadu, and she was part of our Kurumba community in the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. She was part of that's part of the Western Ghats in southern India. She knew the forest the way many of us know our homes. Which plant, which season, which root, which bark, and what it does to a body that is sick or hurting. A medicinal understanding built over a lifetime, passed down through generations of women before her. Not written anywhere, not captured anywhere, but carried in her the way many of these important information pieces are. She knew she was one of the last in her generation to carry these pieces of information. And so she tried. She tried to reach out to young women in her village and to make that effort. And then she left us suddenly. And a large part of that knowledge went with her. Janaki Amma is not an exception. She is a pattern. We have built systems to improve the women farmers' income, her market access, her certification. We have not built systems to protect and transmit what she knows. The deepest sustainability is not a scheme or a price mechanism. It is knowledge held in specific women, in specific communities, irreplaceable once it is gone. And I think we need to be very conscious of that. Today I'm standing here in Meghalaya, and I want to say something specific about this place. The Khasi, the Jaintia, Garo, and other indigenous communities of this state carry something very rare, a matrilineal tradition that places women at the center of lineage, land, and continuity. The sacred forests, the living root bridges, the Lakadong turmeric that even the world is discovering now only, but it has been known here for generations. These are not accidents. They are the product of communities that have maintained a relationship with their land, and of women who are at the center of that relationship. Meghalaya has already something that the rest of Asia is trying to build. Our partnership must be worthy of that. We see Meghalaya as an important partner in advancing organic agriculture in Asia. The state's commitment to sustainable farming, biodiversity conservation, indigenous knowledge, youth engagement, and women's empowerment provides valuable lessons for many other regions. As we gather here to commemorate the United Nations Year of the Woman Farmer, let us remember that the future of agriculture depends on our ability to support those who nurture our land, preserve our traditions, and feed our communities. So here is what I want to leave with all of you in this room. We are here to recognize women farmers, sure, that recognition matters. But the next frontier for this movement, for this partnership, for the programs we designed together, not only for the near future, but for the generations to come, is not recognition. It is transmission of knowledge. How do we make the knowledge of the woman farmer as legible to policy as her income? How do we ensure that what Janaki Amma tried to pass on does not keep living quietly, woman by woman, village by village, generation by generation? Janaki Amma tried. She did her part. The question for IFOAM Organics Asia, for the government of Meghalaya, for everyone in this room is whether we will do our part. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Your word reminds us that organic agriculture flourishes when communities, governments, global partners, and women work together with a common purpose. Your story about the exemplary woman has inspired everyone here to also protect indigenous knowledge. So thank you so much once again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Srimati Sangeeta Agarwal, Senior Sector Specialist, NRM KFW, to say a few words. Ma'am?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in this huge crowd of women farmers and women leaders, I would say. And it's really, I would really like to thank the government of Meghalaya for inviting me for this event. Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Sangma, Honorable Agriculture Minister, Shri Timothy Shira, and dear respected dignitaries on the dais, and to all dear partners and delegates at this conference. I represent KFW. We are a bilateral German organization. We are a promotional bank of the Federal Republic of Germany. We have been working in India for more than 70 years, and we have like a portfolio of more than 8 billion euros right now on ongoing projects in the country. Although our emphasis has been on more on the energy sector, supporting energy efficiency and renewable energy, we are also very much prominent on the environment sector, which gives us the biggest impact on the investments that have been made so far. We started with watershed developments way back in the early 1990s with NABARD, and that has brought about structural reforms in the national watershed guidelines of the government of India. In the NRM sector, we currently have projects of almost 220 million euros ongoing, and we have another new projects of almost 300 million euros under development. The focal areas in the NRM sector has been on forest landscapes, primarily working in the Himalayan states of the country, but graduating from the watershed development work which we had started in the early 1990s, we are now focusing on water and soil health management by promoting natural farming and organic farming in the country. So that is a niche area that we have identified for our organization, and it is also based on the policy changes that we have seen that the government of India is interested in making. Agroecological farming or regenerative farming, agriculture, is not inherently a bankable proposition by itself, although we feel that there is a very high private and public returns from investing in regenerative agriculture. A recent study undertaken by KFW has shown that government budgets continue to be the biggest source of funding for regenerative agriculture worldwide. And we have seen that less than 1% of the bilateral and multilateral funding which is happening across the world for biodiversity is spent on agrobiodiversity, including regenerative agriculture. So it's a very, very small amount that we are talking about for an extremely important common good that we are talking about. So how can we make a more explicit emphasis on sustainable agriculture plus or regenerative agriculture? By directly investing in techniques, technologies, and value chains that actively promote regenerative agriculture, positive outcomes, and rewarding for its conservation and sustainable use. And that is exactly what we are doing in India, working with state governments like Andhra Pradesh and more recently with Meghalaya. In Meghalaya, we are very happy to have a state which is actually taking this movement forward in the northeastern part of the India. And we are supporting the state initiative in sustainable production, conservation, and supply of organic produce by leveraging the traditional origins and natural agriculture practices of the state, bringing in the best practices which will enhance the income of the farmers, the quality of the life of the people, and the economy of the state. And this is what the state has put in its vision, organic policy vision, you know. So we really believe in what the state is saying, and we really want to be a partner in that journey. So since 2022, late 2022-23, we have been working with the government of Meghalaya on covering about 24,000 hectares of land, and we will be reaching out to some 48,000 farm families over the next 5 years. We are working with women self-help groups, with village cooperative societies, and FPOs and FPCs. We feel that building strong community institutions is extremely important to sustain the endeavor that we have all embarked on. We are investing in their capacity building, in their knowledge management, and hand-holding of the community institutions, and developing viable business models for certified organic value chains. In this endeavor, the women farmers are the key and essential partners. People's adaptive capacities has been seen can be enhanced only when their livelihoods are improved and built upon. And for that, they need access to long-term finance. And that is what KFW tries to bring in. We usually are in a project from minimum of 5 to 7 years, since we've been already working since 2022 through a grant phase as was presented in the video. We will continue with the loan phase till 2031. So I think what I would like to end with saying this, what KFW brings in this initial public investment needed is to kickstart such action. But what will actually sustain is the community ownership and their empowerment. And that is the main thing that we want to all work towards, building strong community institutions where they can take ownership of what they achieve in their lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for reaffirming that meaningful partnerships can create lasting impact by strengthening livelihoods, protecting local practices, and empowering farmer communities, especially for women farmers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now arrive at a defining milestone in Meghalaya's organic journey. As mentioned by the Commissioner and Secretary a few minutes back, launched in 2024, Phase 1 of Meghalaya State Organic Mission laid a strong foundation by supporting thousands of farmers and bringing nearly 24,000 hectares under organic cultivation. Now, building on that success, Meghalaya now embarks on Phase 2, taking another significant step towards its vision of 1 lakh hectare under certified organic farming by 2028. This is a commitment to our farmers to sustainable agriculture and to a future where Meghalaya's organic heritage continues to find recognition across the world. So may I now request our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Conrad K. Sangma, to kindly launch the Phase 2 mission, and may I also request the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and our other distinguished dignitaries to kindly join us for the formal launch of the Phase 2 of the Meghalaya State Organic Mission. A big hand clap, please. And now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we see clearly the vision of this mission. A big hand clap once again, please. And now it is my honor to invite Shri Timothy D. Shira, Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, Government of Meghalaya, to share his thoughts. Sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Sri Conrad K. Sangma, Commissioner Secretaries, and other officers, Sub-Agriculture Department, Government of Meghalaya, distinguished delegates, representatives from FOAM Organics, Asia Development Partners, Women Farmers Leaders, esteemed guests from India and abroad, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to Meghalaya. It is indeed a great pleasure and privilege to join all of you at this important international conference which celebrate the invaluable contributions of women farmers and explore pathways towards building sustainable, resilient, and inclusive food system. This conference, jointly organized by Magnolia, the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, IFOAM Organic Asia, and KFW, is especially significant as it considers with the United Nations International Year of Women Farmer under the theme Women Farmers Leading Change Globally for Organic Food System. This global recognition acknowledges the pivotal role of women farmers in promoting sustainable agriculture, conserving biodiversity, ensuring food security, and strengthening rural livelihoods. Meghalaya is blessed with extraordinary natural wealth. Our agricultural traditions are deeply rooted in indigenous knowledge systems that have evolved over generations. Long before concepts such as sustainability, climate resilience, and biodiversity, eco-conservation became a part of global discourse. Our farming communities were already practicing agriculture in harmony with nature. Our farming communities were already across our India and village. Farmers continue to preserve traditional seed varieties, community-based farming system, and ecological practices, and have sustained livelihood for centuries. What makes Meghalaya agricultural story even more remarkable is the central role played by women. Women are not merely participants in agriculture, they are the custodians of traditional knowledge, managers of farms, leaders of cooperatives, and entrepreneurs driving rural communities across agricultural value chain, from cultivation and harvesting to processing, marketing, and enterprise development. Women are at the forefront, shaping the future of our rural economy. Our matrilineal society provides a unique social foundation where land is traditionally inherited through the female lineage. This has ensured a high level of excellent platform for sharing global experiences, promoting women-led enterprises, strengthening farmer institutions, and fostering international cooperation in organic agriculture. Today, Meghalaya is emerging as a leading producer of premium organic crops such as Lakadong turmeric, ginger, black pepper, kashi mandarin, pineapple, and several indigenous fruits and spices. Recognizing this immense potential, the government of Meghalaya has launched the Meghalaya State Organic Mission with visions of creating a globally competitive organic ecosystem. I am pleased to share that under phase 1 of the mission, 28,748 hectares have already been brought under implementation. Today we are taking another significant step with the launch of phase 2, which will expand the mission by an additional 44,000 hectares. By 2028, we aim to bring 1 lakh hectares under organic certification. However, our vision extends far beyond increasing production. We are investing in processing infrastructure, quality certification, branding, market access, and export so that our farmers move beyond being producers of raw commodities to become stakeholders in profitable, value-added enterprises. Through this integrated approach, we seek to enhance income, generate rural employment, position Meghalaya as a global destination for high-quality organic products. I sincerely hope that this conference will provide an excellent opportunity for all of us to learn from the experience of the countries across Asia and the Pacific, build enduring partnership, exchange innovative ideas, and explore collaborative approaches that will benefit our farmers and strengthen organic agriculture. As we deliberate over the next 2 days, I am confident that the ideas and recommendations emerging from this conference will contribute towards building a more inclusive, sustainable, resilient, and prosperous future for agriculture. Once again, I extend my heartfelt welcome to each one of you. I wish the conference every success and hope you have a productive and memorable stay in Meghalaya. Thank you. Kublai, Jai Hind, Mithila.
Mithila, thank you so much, sir. Your address is a powerful reminder that investing in our farmers is ultimately an investment in Meghalaya's future. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the journey of Meghalaya's organic movement has always been guided by a simple yet powerful belief. Our Honorable Chief Minister once said that organic farming is not merely a buzzword of our times. It is a living heritage practiced and preserved by generations of farmers across Meghalaya and the Northeast. Believing in this heritage means believing in our farmers, It meant investment in certification, strengthening farmer-producer organizations, celebrating women farmers, creating opportunities, and all these are being nurtured under the wings of our Honorable Chief Minister. It is his vision that has brought us here today for this international conference where Meghalaya proudly welcomes the world. It is therefore my distinct pleasure to invite a leader who has steadfastly championed the vision and continues to inspire Meghalaya's journey. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Shri Conrad K. Sangma, the Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya, to deliver the keynote address.
My colleague in the cabinet, Honorable Agriculture Minister, Shri Timothy D. Shira, our officials, headed by Dr. Vijay Kumar of the Agriculture Department, Ms. Karen Mapuswa, our president of IFOAM Organics International, Ms. Bernadette, the director of the National Organic Agriculture Program, Department of Agriculture, Philippines, Shri Matthew John, the president of IFOAM Organics Asia, Srimati Sangeeta Agarwal, the Senior Specialist of KFW, all the other delegates who have joined us here for this program, and most importantly, our dear and most inspiring and passionate women farmers for whom we are celebrating this particular program and this particular day. At the very outset, I would like to thank IFOAM and the Department of Agriculture and all the stakeholders who have made this program a possibility. For us as a government, our journey started 8 years back. And continuously for the last 8 years, we have been moving forward, stumbling once in a while, getting up again, picking up the pieces, having a course correction, and again moving forward. And in all of these different situations, the only one thing that has been constant for us is that whatever we do, it must be for the benefit of our people. Whatever actions we take, we must keep our farmers right in front of us, our youth right in front of us, our women and other stakeholders right in front of us, and take decisions and actions based on what is good for them. And that is the reason why our focus never shifts. And our actions, of course, may differ because of situations, but we move forward because of this one focus that we have in our mind. And I must say that this entire program of having the women's farmer and women farmers and sustainable organic agriculture program right here in Meghalaya and in Shillong is maybe one of the most appropriate programs that we can have. I was just speaking to Karen and sharing with her a point that you all have already understood. That Meghalaya is a matrilineal society. But what makes things more special, especially when you connect farming and the aspect of sustainability and organic farming to our matrilineal system, you actually end up unlocking something really magical. And you will understand this when you go, or if you go to the farms. Because our women are the custodians of our land. When they grow something on that farm, there is a certain level of pride, a certain level of ownership, a level of passion that you can't experience or cannot explain just in terms of words. You can only see it in their eyes. It's because whatever they do, they realize that this is mine. That ownership that they have, and that emotion you will see in their eyes when they are planting is the sustainability that we are talking about. That passion, that ownership creates that sustainability at a level that you can't imagine. And I was just sharing with Karen that maybe somebody should do a study and see how farming outputs, because of policies and programs, how are they more effective in matrilineal systems compared to, say, non-matrilineal system. To see that if a woman owns the farm, is there an additional, growth in the entire productivity? Or is there ease in which we are able to implement policies because the ownership is there by women? I think it will be an amazing story and amazing research that will really help design policies and maybe contribute. Meghalaya's maybe greatest contribution that we can make to policy at a global level could be practice that we've had for centuries and generations of just simply looking at the connect between ownership of the land, sustainability, productivity, and keeping the women right in front of what we are doing. So this is why I feel strongly that this particular program and this particular conference is of great importance and interest, and as I said, a perfect timing as to what we as a state are doing or were doing, plan to do in the future, and the vision that we have kept in front of us. I'm not here to explain to you all the different schemes that we have done. Trust me, it will take the whole afternoon, the whole evening, and maybe the whole night. And that is true because we have done a lot of things. I'm not saying everything is perfect. Neither am I saying that everything has changed because what we have done. But I can tell you that we are in the right direction. And I can tell you that we are seeing results today. Few pictures of some of the processing units that we have set up, just few of them, is an example of how things have moved forward. It's an example of how we as a state have seen what we are good at, what the farmers were already doing, and what technology is available in the world today, and the way our society and our community is structured, and brought all of these factors together to create a working system that works for us, where the community is involved, the technology is there, we are doing what the people already are good at, we're looking at the strengths that we have, and we're just taking it one notch up. And we'll keep doing that. And we'll keep improving on it. Not by doing things that have been successful in the rest of the world, or maybe models that have been successful somewhere else, but picking parts of that and seeing what suits our system, our people, which may have worked somewhere else but doesn't work for us. We don't want to do that. And I think that is really what is unique about the way we are moving as a state. And every step we take, we calculate. We see how the people are responding, because it's not about what Conrad Sangma does or Vijay Kumar does or Timothy Shira does, which we want to say is right. It does not matter. What matters is it correct for the farmer? And I think that driving principle should always be a guiding principle for governments, organizations, cooperatives in society. It is beyond an individual. It is about the farmers, the community, and the people put together. And therefore, many, many programs have happened, and we will do many more programs. I was very excited to see that this particular conference has got such great key focus areas. Guardianship of natural heritage. What but better place than the northeast part of India to explore that? Because there's so many practices which the West or the other developed nations will come and say, you know what, you're doing this wrong. But then they don't realize that we're doing this for the last 1,000 years and it has been working. There must be some reason or a certain purpose or something that we are doing right because of which it's working. I think we need to respect that. I think we need to, of course, study it. And maybe if there is something to be tweaked, well, we can tweak to make it better. But I think to completely dispose it of and say, well, you know what, we don't think it works, I don't think is the correct approach. And therefore, I was very happy to see that the natural heritage, the aspect of our indigenous agriculture knowledge, I love that word, is something that we have to offer to the world. And I think we must learn from the world and the world must learn from us. And I think this is maybe one of the best platforms that we can do it. I know all of you are lined up there. I'm so sorry. I don't know why you guys made them line up so early, but I'm going to take another 2 minutes to speak. I apologize once again. But of course, then if you look at the other areas of looking at things like strengthening collective action, again, another beautiful subject, topic, and something that we have believed in. Because, you see, for us as an organization, as a government, and as people who want to do something in this, we can't just simply do something that will happen today and then when we go tomorrow that it vanishes. It can't. And it should not. Because then it defeats the purpose and it minimizes the impact of what you and I are trying to do out here. We must create systems. We must create institutions. We must create a mechanism that can be looked at, and that skeleton can be replicated somewhere else, and maybe the meat part can be added in different ways. But we need to ensure that we create that kind of an organizational system. And that is something that we have believed in. Because you'll be happy to know that in the last 8 years, we've almost grown more than 1,000% in terms of the self-help groups and the farmer-producer groups that we had, because we believe that these kind of cooperatives are necessary to make our system work, and that is part of our strength, is what we believe. So therefore, I love the focus areas that have been put in out here, and I could go on and on, but I think it'll take time. But I just wanted to share with you that I appreciate the way that this has been thought through, and matters and issues that are meaningful to all of us have been selected. I think that's really something that I must mention out here. And of course, while we do conclude, I hope that these key focus areas that we're looking at will also look at the challenges that could possibly come. And some challenges are global in nature, whether it's the El Nino, whether it's the global warming at large, or whether it's the use of course, different kind of fertilizers, pesticides that needs to be really controlled, which is, of course, why we are all here. But what I'm saying in general, we need to also keep this larger challenges that we have in mind as we move along, so that awareness is there amongst the people. Sometimes it's quite amazing. You will find, that people are not aware of just basic, simple things, and we take a lot of things for granted. And I think platforms like these can help us create the right noise, raise the right issues, and connect people to different issues and say, well, you know what, I can help you with this. Maybe, forget the rest of the people, but I think I can work with you. I think it gives a chance for us to meet each other. And because I always have maintained this to everybody, I think I speak about this almost in every program, please don't let a program end when the program ends. This should be a beginning of a wonderful journey. And maybe everybody won't connect to each other. I don't expect that. But even if one of you can connect to another person, I think this program is a success. Because you know what? We can't change everything in 2 days. We can't. It's a process. It takes time. It's not practical. But I think the relationships, when we see something and we feel that I can connect to this person, I feel I can do something with this person, and you know what, I'm getting something, a real purpose out of this. I think that's really what I would like to see this conference come out with. And even if we can pick up 1 or 2 success programs as we go along, I think it will be a great benefit for the people at large, especially the farmers of our state. And to conclude, I also would like to, put the larger perspective, which is something that I have always believed, that while I head a government here in the state of Meghalaya, I have always been a very big proponent of the Northeast region as a whole. And I've always believed that for us as a region, we need to always project ourselves as a region. We need to realize that maybe the political, geographical boundaries in terms of our maps may be there, but in terms of our environment, in terms of our biological, setup and our entire forest cover and so many other challenges that we face, we are but one region which cannot be segregated. And hence, when all of you who are coming here for this program to Shillong, I think it is very important that you don't restrict your thought process just here. And you must open up and realize that the Northeast is almost like one, region that has a kind of a reserve and a biosphere kind of a region where we are looking at similar challenges, similar opportunities, and what can work in Meghalaya can 100% work in most of the parts of the Northeast because of our, the kind of environment we have, the kind of people that we have, the culture that we have, the tribal community and the practices that we have. I think that is something also that is very, very exciting for us, because that is what provides, I'm sorry to say this, but that's what provides the larger global commercial scale that is required for anybody to take notice of what we're doing. So sometimes people will say, for us, Meghalaya is big, of course, but if you compare to the rest of the world, Meghalaya is a smaller state. But I feel strongly that, as I said, when we look at the Northeast as a region, as a market, and as a probable area of interest, then it opens up a completely different chapter of the kind of interest we can have, the investments that we can bring in, the impact that we can have, and obviously make it commercially viable for larger investments from the private sector, because we must realize that we may not want private sector to be the way they want to come in, but we need them. And but we need them in the way the conditions should be acceptable to all of us. So I think we need to realize that partnerships are important, and I strongly feel that it is important to involve the private sector because of the funding and the other areas where we need to ensure that we have that scale that is there. So I once again thank all of you. Of course, as I said, this is a very interesting subject, a subject which is very close to my heart, because farmers are very close to my heart. Women are very important for me, and today we're talking with women farmers, so it's even more important for me because we're bringing in 2 very important stakeholders in the larger policy making of our government and the larger impact that we see. I repeat this again, and I'm very, very particular about this, that for any government, and for us, that's how we look at it, that we are not driven by schemes or we're not driven by a project. We are really driven by the larger impact we have on a particular stakeholder and all different departments that work in different silos and are trying to do different things must combine and put their heads together to see what is good for the farmers and the women group. And that's really key to real effective governance that has to happen, because we'll tend to lose focus of what we are here for while we're trying to implement the KFW scheme, because KFW, our senior sector specialist Sangeeta is coming and sitting on our heads saying that, have you utilized the money? Have you utilized the money? And we are trying to finish the money, but we're not looking at whether it's impacting the women and the farmers the way we had planned to do. So we should never lose focus of what we are trying to do, because if we do that, then I think there's no meaning in sitting here and talking. So therefore, I end with that note that please always remember to keep the larger purpose and the focus and purpose in mind, with the focus of achieving that larger purpose, and carry everybody along while we implement things, so that the participatory kind of a development program will lead to more effective implementation of what we are trying to achieve. So once again, wishing this particular conference the very best, and really looking forward, as I said, for a very long and a very productive journey together, and starting with today, and of course moving on to many, many years and decades, and really looking at how we are able to impact the lives of our farmers, especially our women farmers. Wish you all the very best. May God bless each and every one of us, and may God bless our beautiful state of Meghalaya. Kublai Shibun, Mathela, and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya. Your words have reaffirmed that the greatest strength of Meghalaya's organic movement lies in its people, its tradition, and the women who continues to nurture them. Thank you, sir, for sharing your shared inspirational vision. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a little while ago, we celebrated a vision. We launched a mission that will shape the future of organic farming in Meghalaya. And now we witness that vision reaching the very hands it was meant for, the hands of the people and the farmers, as we now come to the moment of the distribution of financial assistance under Phase 1 of the Meghalaya State Organic Mission 2024 to 28 for organic input support. For the distribution of the financial assistance, may I request the Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya and the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, along with the other dignitaries, to kindly come down for the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, let me mention here that the government of Meghalaya has committed rupees 295 crores or $34.3 million towards the Meghalaya State Organic Mission. And today, rupees 5.80 crores will be distributed to farmer groups across all 12 districts of the state as second tranche of the organic certification input support. So now I will announce the names of the districts, and may I request the DHOs, accompanied by 2 farmer representatives, to kindly come forward to receive the checks. We begin with East Khasi Hills. May I invite the DHO of East Khasi Hills State Organic, accompanied by 2 farmer representatives, to receive organic input support amounting to 38,23,750 rupees. A warm round of applause for East Khasi Hills, please. We now call upon North Garo Hills. Receiving a check on behalf of the district is District Horticulture Officer from Resubelpara, accompanied by 2 farmer representatives, ₹4, 35,60,000. Let's congratulate the farming communities of North Garo Hills with a big round of applause. Our next district is East Garo Hills. May we have the District Horticulture Officer, together with 2 farmer representatives, on stage to receive assistance amounting to 58,25,600 rupees. Let's appreciate the farmers from East Garo Hills with a big hand clap. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Our journey now brings us to Ribhoi district. Receiving support on behalf of the district is the DHO of Mission Organic State, accompanied by 2 farmer representatives for an amount of rupees 27,66,500. Another warm round of applause. We now turn to Southwest Khasi Hills. Kindly welcome the District Horticulture Officer along with 2 farmer representatives to receive assistance of 22,86,800 rupees. Let's celebrate the continued commitment of these farmers with a round of applause. Joining us now is South Garo Hills, the MSMO District Horticulture Officer from Bakmara, together with 2 farmer representatives, may please come forward to collect the financial assistance amounting to 63,70,425 rupees. Your applause, please, for South Garo Hills. Our next presentation is for West Khasi Hills. Representing the District Horticulture Officer, Mission Organic, together with 2 farmers, may kindly come forward to receive assistance amounting to 75 lakh rupees. Let's acknowledge the dedication of these farming communities and these farmers with a big, big hand clap. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Representing Southwest Garo Hills, may we welcome the representatives of Mission Organic, accompanied by 2 farmer representatives, to receive the check of today's distribution amounting to 62,45,000 rupees. Let's put your hands together for the farmers of Southwest Garo Hills. And now it is the turn of West Jaintia Hills. The representative of MS State Organic Mission 2.0, accompanied by 2 farmer representatives, may kindly step forward to receive support amounting to rupees 51,73,500. Let's extend our appreciation to the farmers of West Jaintia Hills. Let's give a bigger clap, ladies and gentlemen. And now we move to West Garo Hills. Representing West Garo Hills, the representative of the Meghalaya State Organic Mission, accompanied by 2 farmer representatives, may kindly come forward to receive 62,50,000 rupees. Another well-deserved round of applause for West Garo Hills. Representing East Jaintia Hills, may we welcome the DHO of Kliriat, Meghalaya Organic Mission, together with 2 farmers to receive rupees 51,83,300. Let's warmly applaud the farmers from East Jaintia Hills. And finally, the distribution to East-West Khasi Hills. Representing East-West Khasi Hills, I request the DHO of Mission Organic, accompanied by 2 farmer representatives, to join our dignitaries to receive support amounting to 30,76,700 rupees. Let's give her a sounding round of applause to East-West Khasi Hills. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the distribution. Let's give a heartfelt round of applause once again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this inaugural session, allow me to extend our sincere gratitude to the Honorable Chief Minister, our Honorable Agriculture Minister, our distinguished guests and delegates from India and across the world, our valued development partners and organizers, the Department of Agriculture, IFOAM Organics Asia, and all our speakers for making today's program truly meaningful. A special word of appreciation to our women farmers and farming communities, especially to those from the cooperative societies. A heartfelt thanks also goes to the organizing team, volunteers, members of the media, and everyone working behind the scenes whose dedication has made this international gathering possible. May I now request our dignitaries, district representatives and farmer representatives to kindly stand for the group photo. Sir, if you can kindly come forward, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A kind request for everyone to kindly stand up. Ngikar part ibaro ban sobha ban yeng. Kanang bangin yo ban shandur ha ganika por. Our distinguished guests will come down for the group photo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your moment to smile. Please smile, the cameras are all ready. Wave your checks if you wish. Now look to the cameras and make sure you give the best smile so that it can be captured on cam. Thank you so much to our distinguished guests and dignitaries. And to everyone, lunch is served. You can kindly disperse for lunch and do come again for the next session. Thank you.